landed that first punch. What did you notice in terms of their energy and execution early?
Um, they were just a better team tonight from start to finish. Just chalk it up to that. They played better, played harder, more sense of urgency. They deserve the win.
It, it was a pretty uncharacteristic dynamic of just the paint scoring, particularly in that first half. What did you guys try to resolve over the course of the game to be able to get to the rim more often compared to the first quarter?
Um, I don't know. I don't. I'm not too sure. That wasn't like a focus of ours. Coming out of halftime, we tried to play the right way. Um, Tried to get stops. Tried to get out on the break. We just didn't do any. We just didn't have it tonight. I don't think. When you don't have juice against a team, obviously as talented as them, it doesn't matter what you try to do. It's not going to work, and we saw it tonight.
So, being asked about Josh being left from three, obviously that's not something new for you guys. That's the thing that's been happening all year. But Mark just said that beyond just him, that strategy was effective for more reasons than just Josh missing shots. I just wonder what you guys feel, on the ball, away from Josh, can be being done to maybe make him more effective, if that's even the case at all.
I think coach put him in like some pick and rolls. He was setting and rolling when they were like doubling, and he was getting in the pocket, making plays. Um, yeah, it's obviously teams have thrown different things at us all year. Tonight, I mean, he had some open looks, missed some, made some. It's the game of basketball, they go in. Sometimes they don't. Josh was left open against Toronto, played his balls off. Um, didn't have his best game tonight, but all you can do is be aggressive and work hard, and he does both, so he'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Shay, obviously you're a fashion guy. Do you have any aspirations to start your own clothing line?
Um, I thought I did when I was younger, but I've realized it's too much work, so no.
And then obviously Chris Paul's been a mentor for you while you were here at OKC. While he was here at OKC with you, do you have any? Has he mentored you on the business side of things, like after basketball, things of that nature?
He hasn't, but I'll get there at some point. Um, yeah, went to tail end of my career. I'll have plenty of questions for him for sure.
Hey, it's weird. You talk about juice. You guys have had a couple of games like this with afternoon starts.
Yeah, it's definitely for sure.
Do you think there's anything to that? It's there's so few, but it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I try to tell myself no, but it's hard to deny the facts. Tomorrow we're definitely gonna try to make it a sense of urgency to kind of start the game the way we want to. But yeah, we've had 3 morning games, and all 3 of them we lost by double digits. It's the facts, and we gotta kind of hit it on the nose.
Is it nice, Shay, with how competitive this group is, that you get a chance to just turn around and play another team tomorrow in the afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially the way tonight went, being able to kind of redeem myself tomorrow will be good.
How much specifically is your routine and kind of just rhythms thrown off in an afternoon game from just the way you prepare for a game?
Me, I don't honestly I don't mind them. I kind of like them. Get the rest of your day after the game, and it didn't really throw off my routine. And I don't haven't liked the result that we've got from them so far. But yeah, I don't mind them.
So we need to talk to you yesterday. What was your reaction to the Gordon Hayward trade, and if you got to meet him, what you thought of that?
Yeah, he's been around the league for a long time. Really good player. Really good basketball player. Really skilled. Great size. Yeah, he's a guy that will help any team he goes to, and for sure will help us. And then from my encounter, has been a really good guy. I'm excited to get to work with him for sure.
Shay, I talked to Doc Rivers about you recently, going back to when you were traded. He said you were respectful about it, but he sensed there was some kind of I don't know, edge or chip on your shoulder about being traded. What was your reaction to that? Even though obviously it was for a proven start.
It was. I didn't see it coming. Now, like you said, it was a proven star. I had just gotten to my rookie year, maybe averaging 8 points. Like it, I'm not like, why would you do that? Like it makes sense. I think Paul just came off like a MVP caliber year. He was playing really well. But I guess I used it a little bit as motivation, just to get better, and really turn myself into, I guess, that caliber of player.
Shai, you've been through the trade deadline now multiple years. What are the emotions of that like whenever you see someone like, of course, trade is a big part of what you guys do, to see those kind of exits and then also being a guy that bringing her back, like just emotionally?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty disruptive. Like both ways, like someone coming out, someone going in the middle of a season, especially if you have families involved. Trey just had a kid. Like it's a lot. It's part of the business. But yeah, it's for sure. It's a lot.
And Trey's going to start tonight for Charlotte. Yeah, you're going to watch that game. And
Oh my, I didn't even know that.
Anything that you kind of think about his game now that he has a chance to kind of play more?
Yeah, he should be really good. What time do they start?
I think you're about 6 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be recording the whole thing. Can't wait.
So you seem like a very even keel dude. The MVP discussion tends to get a lot of energy in the NBA world. Obviously, you're right to think of that at this point. What do you think of that whole discussion and kind of the way that that's shaping up 2/3 into the season?
Yeah, it's cool. But I really just focus on winning games. Nothing comes if you don't win games. No award or accolade. So that's all I try to focus on, and from there, hopefully, things fall where I want them to.
Thank you, Shaq.
Their energy to start this game.
They came out ready to play and firing out the gates. Luka hit a few big step back threes to get it going, and then they really fed off that from there. We were able to slow them down a good bit in the second quarter, but we just didn't come out the gates and then come out in the second half with what we needed to do to win.
When you guys were on offense, they kind of prevented you guys from getting into the paint early on. What was key over the course of the game to try and correct that?
Just continue to trust each other. They're throwing different things at us to take away the drives and really clog up the paint on us. But we continued to trust each other to hit outside shots, and tonight a lot of them didn't go in, and we're just gonna have to be better for the next one.
Chet, being more specific, obviously Luka is Luka, but last time they had Gafford, he did have Lively, but they do some similar things. I just wonder, as the game went on, what became so tough and kind of, despite putting him in the crowd, the lob, the backside.
Yeah. He's a really good player, so he's not just going to make the same mistakes throughout an entire game. He's going to adjust, and he's going to kind of figure out defenses, which is part of what makes him such a good player. Obviously, he has skills on top of that that allow him to do a lot of things out there, but once you throw a coverage at him or a scheme at him, even if it messes him up initially, he's gonna learn from it and figure out how to beat it. I'm sure at this point in his career, he's kind of seen a lot of everything that different teams have tried to throw at him. So he's good at adjusting, and we got to kind of continue to trust it as well as kind of adjusting with him, I guess.
Yeah, sorry. Even like on the other end of that, the guys have to finish, right? It hasn't really been a thing this year, despite maybe people talking about your size. Like, you haven't really been outscored by 20, 30 at the rim a ton this year. Just what was it, from that you saw that led to them outscoring you guys at the rim by 30?
One, they really packed the paint and weren't going to allow us to beat them at the rim. And then on the other end, a lot of the spacing that they had, and especially making shots early, I feel like drew us out. And then they were able to kind of play at the rim more from there, whether it was in closeout situations or just in the scheme of their offense with us being more spaced out, I guess. And then, yeah.
Teams are, they're doing different things, but the consistent thing is they don't want guys obviously scoring in the paint. They're so good at it. You mentioned trusting each other to make shots. When shots aren't falling and the paint is that crowded, what's the image? What can you guys do to counter those two things not working?
Play harder on defense. A lot of times, I personally feel like it's been a theme this season when we've been struggling on offense. The times when we've really been able to ignite it and get it going throughout a game is started with defense, and then being able to get out in transition and not play against a set defense. And then, when we're playing out in transition and we're scoring in transition, then the other team has to play against a set defense, and just kind of trying to fight the tide of that. If we're playing against transition on defense all game long and we're playing against a set defense on the other side, it's going to be really tough. So we got to kind of flip that and kind of start our offense with our defense. And we've been really good with that a lot of times throughout the season. I feel like in the second quarter we did a good job of that. We just didn't have enough of it tonight, obviously, and we just have to continue to get better with it. And we're going to do that.
Chet, after a game like this, how nice is it knowing that you get a chance to get right back after it tomorrow?
I mean, that's the NBA, whether you like it or not. These games are just going to keep coming one after another. And, we learned about it in January, but nobody feels bad for you. Nobody cares what your schedule's like because everybody has a tough schedule. Everybody has to play a lot of games. And, we understand that, and we got to prepare and get ready for the game tomorrow. Win or loss tonight, we'd have the same mentality.
It's weird, and it might be coincidental, but you guys have played some of your worst games in afternoon tip-offs.
After what?
Afternoon games.
Like early games?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't want to dive too deep into that wormhole on that one. I just think whatever time we play at, we have to be ready from the jump and come out to win the game. How many early games have we played?
We played here so far.
3.
Yeah.
What? Denver early?
Denver, Detroit.
Well, I can see why you think that. So, we gotta not only be better in early games, I guess, but be better every single game. We gotta, come out and do what we need to do to win games.
On early games specifically, how much of your routine or rhythm is kind of just thrown off, just starting so much earlier?
Obviously it's different. You don't have the full day for your normal routine. It's a little off. Shoot around times, film times, might be different, or we might not have shoot around because of it. But that's no excuse. We have to have the same preparation and mindset coming into every single game, no matter what time it's at, where it is, whatever factors are going on, whatever's happening in the world. We got to be ready to play. So.
This was your first time going up against Kyrie and Luke at the same time. How much stress they put on you guys today?
A lot. They're two really good players, and they're really figuring out how to play off each other well. And they're getting all the other dudes on the floor to play at a high level as well. And we got to get in the film room and watch them, and figure out what we need to do to be able to win the game when we play them again.
Kind of playing from behind throughout that first quarter, what did it take to try to turn some things around and dig yourself out of that hole?
Just getting stops and bringing more energy. That's something we talked about after the game. We had to fight harder than we needed to fight harder than we have been doing like in the past games. So that was a point of emphasis.
And what was it about them and the way that they played today that just made it so hard to kind of get the traction that you needed to?
They started off making a lot of shots. We couldn't get the stops. Then throughout the whole game, I feel like it just didn't carry over. We didn't guard to the best of our abilities.
Cason, Dallas didn't shoot the most free throws you guys have seen, but it felt like they used certain stretches getting to the line to kind of stretch out that lead. Just what do you feel like they did, and what is it about this team that they kind of just, you guys seem to foul at time?
They were just more aggressive than we were. That pretty much sums up this game. They were more aggressive than us.
Cason, you mentioned their shot making tonight. How much of it was you had to tip your cap to just the shots that they made? How much of it do you feel like you guys probably could have controlled throughout the night?
It was 50-50. They definitely made some tough shots, and I feel like we closed out to a lot of shots with a high hand, and they just made them. So, I mean, give them credit, but we still got to do better.
And then just knowing how competitive this group is, how nice is it that after a game like this, you have another opportunity tomorrow to get after it again?
We bounced back pretty well, so I feel like we'll come out with even more energy tomorrow, and we'll show better.
Mark, it seemed like they really delivered the first punch today. What did you notice about the way that Dallas came out to begin this week?
Obviously, with a lot of energy on both ends of the floor, way more than we had, which obviously dug us a hole. So they shot it well early, but that's where some of the transition, straight out fast break plays really hurt you, because when you're giving up the easy ones and they're making shots, then that's how 47 can happen in the first quarter. So we're able to fight back in it. Gave ourselves a little bit of life in the second quarter, but they were clearly the better team today.
They were able to keep you out of the paint for quite a while in that first half. How did you guys try to solve that and maybe do a better job as the game went on, getting down low?
Yeah, they were loaded quite a bit, obviously, which, we've seen multiple times this year. That's nothing new. We drive the ball. We hit the paint. Teams know that. And so a lot of teams sell out, and try to take that away. That was obviously the case today. So credit them. They did a good job.
Mark, I imagine you're tired of being asked about how teams treat Josh, but to start the game, they're leaving him probably as open as any team has to start the third, especially a lot of those possessions when he said spot on. So I'm not going to act like you guys aren't trying different things with him.
Yep.
Short roll passer there, the backside cutter there. But when teams are treating him that way, does it feel like you're kind of low on the options as they're kind of settling for those looks?
No, I mean, we've seen it all year, so it's nothing new for us. We want to have a diversity of attacks against it, which includes the cutting and includes using him as a screener depending on who the five is. We thought that was effective today. And then, he's got to shoot with confidence when he has the open shots. And so, it was effective today for a number of reasons outside of just him. We've seen it a lot. We've attacked it well in the past. So we got to keep learning from it, growing.
Yeah, for what it's worth, does it feel like teams, because you guys have been so good at a lot of things, does it feel like that's a formula they're kind of settling on now?
With the cross matching, not necessarily. I mean, Utah zoned us, the entire game. Toronto played their five on Chet. They were loaded on Shai and had two on the ball, and that's our last three games. So we've had basically three different schemes in the last three games. So it's not necessarily it's not what they're settling on, but teams are settling on alternate coverages, which again, is good for us because we're seeing kind of the kitchen sink and we're learning what we have to do in order to crack it.
I don't know if you can make anything of this. Is it coincidence that you guys have played a few of your absolute worst games in the afternoon?
I don't know. It might be. It's afternoon games for the opponent too. So when the ball goes up in the air, we got to be ready to play. So we certainly haven't played well in those games, but I'm not sure if it's correlated to the time of the game.
With how Dallas was shooting the ball tonight, what did you see in terms of, was it the looks that they were getting, or did you just feel like they were able to kind of get an early rhythm in this one?
A little bit of both. Obviously great offensive team with a lot of shot making, and so some of them, they just rise up and make a shot. But that's why you got to take out the easy stuff. And I thought they were able to get a lot of easy stuff, especially early. And that compounds, when you have that plus a really good shot-making team. But credit them, they were sharp today. They moved the ball. They played with great juice and energy. They were clearly the more ready team to play and deserve to win.
You guys have been good on the ball, point of attack. It's been a strength. It didn't look to be a strength today. Was there anything you guys weren't doing there, or just what they were?
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I just think it was they just had a little more juice today, which has been uncharacteristic for us. We've been, we're over 50 games in here, and we've had only a handful of games where you could say that about us. So, we can't overreact to it. We certainly have to learn from it. We don't want to be happy with it or content with it or numb to it either. But we also need to be able to put it in perspective and get ready for tomorrow and get ready to compete for 48 minutes.
Luka, so obviously just the phone read, everything he does makes it challenging. You guys are putting him in crowds still, but I wonder because they didn't have Gafford, who had a good game, they didn't have PJ last time, like what difference they made in terms of him being able to get out of those crowds and make some reads.
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously really good again today. I think Gafford opens up some vertical rolling for them, which has always been effective with Doncic. They've got shooting around him. They also move the ball, play the right way. So, really good team today. Defensively, they were disruptive to us and made it hard on us. So, again, they outplayed us. They deserve to win.